And welcome back, everyone, to Gold Seek TV. It's a pleasure to have the president and CEO and director of Silver North Resources, Jason Weber. Thank you for joining us today from your silver project in the historic Keno Silver District. How's it looking up there today?
Thanks, Peter. It's great to be on with you again. No, it's weather is classic Yukon mountain weather. It was beautifully sunshine last night, bookended by pouring rain on either side of that, all in the same evening.
Doesn't prevent you from getting work done though on site. You guys are about a month plus from the announcement of drilling, the 2026 drill season. So, how's things looking up there right now?
Yeah, I think we're pretty happy with the way things are going. It's kind of standard drilling for us. So the only difference being, in past years we've had just one drill rig on site. This year we have two, so that's exciting. Both rigs on the main zone, really working on trying to build that target out, and then later in the summer, probably in August, we'll move one of those rigs off to start testing some of our other targets that we're generating and have generated in the past, but just never had a chance to go back and test as well.
Okay, so you have two drills on site this year after successfully raising quite a bit of cash to fund this season and next season's, it looks like, program. So you are focusing on following up on last year's success on the main zone, and then as you're talking about looking at other areas. So
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It's building it out along strike, along its length, and then also following it to depth. And probably the big hole for us last year was actually the first hole we drilled, down dip of the discovery holes from 2024, and that was our hole 31, which hit 818 grams per ton silver and almost 1.4 grams per ton gold over 13 meters. So that for us was that's you're starting to get really nice high grade mineralization, but over a large width. So that's pretty exciting. And then this target also has a fair bit of gold in it. That's not something we're used to seeing here. Of course, the Keno district is not just a silver district anymore. It's we've got gold deposits and flanking it with the stuff Banyan's working on. Then of course the Eagle mine. So we shouldn't be terribly surprised we see gold in here, but it's just not something that we've commonly seen in the past, and even elsewhere in the district, it's not all that common. So kind of an exciting target for us, and really the idea was to with this program in next year, really just probably won't have a official NI 43-101 resource done, but we'll have an idea of how big this target could be. And really, I've said many times in the past, our primary goal is to get that kind of average size Keno district deposit defined, and that's kind of 25 million ounces silver is kind of the number you can throw out there for that. And that's our starting point. That's our minimum threshold. After that, it's hopefully we can build it bigger, or find multiples, or do both. That would be obviously ideal. So being right next door to Hecla, it's a real benefit to us. We can really use what they do, what they've learned over 100 years of data collection in this district through mining and exploration. We can kind of bring that to bear on the exploration we do here at Haldane.
and at 100% ownership of this project, if I believe correctly, you are adjacent to both Hecla there and Banyan's projects. This year it appears that you are set up in your own camp. You kind of develop that further. If you could share more what's working, how that looks like.
Yeah, it's in the past 2 years we've stayed at Banyan's camp. It's about an hour drive away. So a great setup there. It was great to stay with the Banyan team. We enjoyed being there. It was a great setup, but um, they've been successful too, and really ramped up their program for this year, which meant there wasn't room for our crews to stay there. So we built our own camp, which obviously has its own upsides for us. The fact that the drillers are driving just a few minutes to the drill site now from camp. Communications, it's good, but you're close now. Somebody needs something, need a part of the drill, it's really easy to get it up there. And then we do have, I must say, we have a great team, but we have some great cooks here too. So it's we've been really benefiting from some good meals.
Very
I'll
important
leave
for
it at
morale. Yes.
that.
Nice. Well, it's gonna be a pretty active season here, it looks like. What's the total amount of drill holes or amount of meters you're looking at accomplishing?
Yeah, we're targeting 5,000 meters for this year as our cutoff. Really, it's going to come down to time, how late the fall extends. If winter comes early, we'll probably get forced out a little early. So we hope to be in here into October.
Okay.
But that'll be up to Mother Nature. Once the creek and our water source for drilling starts to dry up, then we have to truck water, and that gets very expensive. So um, we would to drill significantly into winter, we'd have to kind of revert to a winter setup, which we're quite not quite there yet. Maybe in the future we could do that, but this year we won't plan on doing that. So drilling, still a good 5 month drill season we'll get in, and I think the everybody's kind of fallen into the groove here. Things are picking up on the drilling side, so it should be a good fulfilling season for us.
And do you have results coming out in the coming months or two? Or are you waiting to finish all the drills and then holes and then assay?
No, yeah, we'll what we've told the crew here is that if you've got a hole ready, it's sampled, bagged, ready to go on the next truck out, it can go into town for assay. So it'll be probably, I'm guessing, batches of one or two holes at a time, just depending on timing of the different drills and when they complete holes. But we've be shipping off two to the lab, either went today or tomorrow, and then we'll just keep going from there.
Awesome. So you're focusing on the main zone now, talking about potential here. Share a little more on, I guess, where are you looking at on the next drill holes to see if you can expand the deposit, hit some new zones? What does that look like?
Yeah, I think the target that we probably have talked about the most but never done anything with is Bighorn, and it's the challenge with Bighorn is it's 3 kilometers away from the West Fault where we've typically been working, and now the main fault, which are very close together. So to move when we were only drilling with one rig, it was a big move to move the rig over to Bighorn, and time is, late in the season becomes our enemy. But the thought was always on the way out, we're going to go drill Bighorn, and we kept getting good results at Maine. It was tough to leave. So this year, having two drills, we can now keep one on the main zone, keep building on that, but that other rig can go over to Bighorn and drill a few holes there. And the significance of that is we drilled our second hole ever on the property was actually at Bighorn. It was on our way in, dragging the drills in. Bighorn's one of the first stops, so we drilled a hole right from the road there. Hit four Keno style veins, fairly thin. Um, to be quite honest, we were a little disappointed. We didn't know what to expect on this project, but we'd hoped to see wider, higher grade mineralization. It was, I think, 2.35 meters. That was about 125 grams per ton silver. And when we talked to the Hecla, what was then Alexco, uh, their people who were exploring these things in the main part of the Keno district, they said that's a discovery. You could be 50 meters away from an ore grade intercept there. So that was good context for us. That's again harkening back to what I said earlier about being in this district with all this data and experience. And Hecla's been very, very open in sharing what they know with us, and that's one example of it. It's just like if you find the right style of mineralization and alteration in these veins, you have to follow up on it. That will be significant. So, not necessarily an ore body, but there is a productive vein there of some sort that you got to follow up on. So that's what we'll do. Probably 3 holes, 2 or 3 holes this year to test that. And then in the spring, we'd flown an airborne geophysics survey. We've got crews out mapping right now, doing some detailed mapping, and we'll be trying to tie together that geophysics with LiDAR and the field crews mapping. And if any other targets fall out of that, maybe we test that with the other rig as well.
Awesome. Well, you have a lot more flexibility this year. You're building off of last year's success, a huge amount of capital investment. If you can share a little more, it sounds like all this year and next year you're fully funded at the current, I guess, drill rate, burn rate. So,
Yep.
yeah, share a little bit more on that front, please.
Yeah. So the budget for this year is about $5 million. We raised, between a small raise before Christmas and then the February close, just over $13 million. So 5 million this year, looking about the same size program for next year. And that would be, obviously then we're fully funded to execute both of those. So that's exciting for us. And one of the keys that comes out of that is, it's so challenging to find drills right now. You can find drills, but drillers that have crews to operate those drills is a challenge. So we were able to sign a 2-year contract with Boart Longyear. So uh, we can leave the drill up here or both drills up here on site through the winter. Saves us costs there. That's about a drill hole. The equivalent of one drill hole is moving those drills out and then bringing them back the next year. So that's a nice thing to have. And then also just to have them locked in for next year, knowing how competitive it could be again, is I think a real advantage for us. So that raise, having that money in hand to execute both those programs is quite valuable for us right now.
Yeah, a lot better position to be in compared to a couple years ago where the whole sector is struggling. So
Absolutely.
nice
Yeah,
time to be
absolutely.
exploring. Even though with the silver price, dropping back to the mid 50s, say right now, these projects they still look quite economical, do very well at 30, 40, 50 plus dollars an ounce, I imagine.
Yeah, and when you think about it, Hecla's been producing. They're not quite in commercial production at Keno yet, but they've been producing about 30 million in free cash flow a quarter for the last year. In the last quarter, they did that milling 800 tons of material versus 2,400 tons the previous three. So that just shows you the impact of the silver price. So even if you back that off a bit, maybe they're doing that for 1,700 tons now. It's still, a much better scenario than it was a year ago. So I think it's really healthy for the industry where we are right now with the little consolidation here in the silver price. I don't know when that is through and we continue up, but I just, if you look at the fundamentals for silver, um, I'm obviously biased being a silver explorer, but I there's very few metals I'm as bullish about as I am silver. Just we everything we were trying to achieve in this world seems to revolve around needing silver. So that's a great basis for moving forward. So even here at 58 or $59, whatever we're at today, I'm still really comfortable. I know it's going to go higher at some point. And from our perspective, now that we're drilling, the most value we're going to add is through discovery, adding more ounces to this story. That's the value. So the silver price, in a way, it's not irrelevant, but it doesn't matter as much anymore. Obviously, we'll probably perform better in a higher silver price environment, but the fact is we're going to be with good results, we'll be adding ounces, and that's where our shareholder value will come from.
And seeing the value of the project, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Jason. It's great to talk to you on site and hear how things are going. I hope continued success. Good luck with I know there's a lot of investment groups going around right now, checking out projects up there in the Yukon and elsewhere. So good luck with yeah, with all that. Look forward to the results. So we'll follow up. I guess let's talk more when the first results come out. Love to see how those look like.
Absolutely, and look forward to chatting with you next.